All right. Hi, guys. I'm Becky with South by Texas State, and today we're sitting down with Lori Davis and Thomas Edwards. These guys are both dating experts, and they happen to be married to each other and to have met on Twitter. So they're going to be talking at South by Southwest Interactive here in a few weeks about the role of technology, not only in their relationship, but in relationships in general. So, hi, guys. Thanks for talking to us.
Hey, thanks for having
How
us.
to put together this panel? Was it just like your personal experience? Are you hearing from your clients that there's sort of a need for a fresh conversation about technology and relationships and how they interact?
Well, I remember back in even 2008. I mean, I wasn't even wingman back then, but I knew of people who were meeting through Twitter and also through tweet-ups. And even for me, I mean, my dating life was pretty good actually using Twitter alone. But at the same time, it made me realize that people tend to compartmentalize how they use certain technology. And I think it's important to understand that your how you use technology is just as much a part of your lifestyle as you would approach being offline and talking to people. And I thought that was really important. And I'm not even the digital expert here. I mean, she knows more. I've never actually dated online. So I think it's a really interesting point for both of us coming from our different expertise to talk about how important technology is in our not just in our dating lives, but just in our overall lifestyles.
Well, and I think the bigger issue here is that technology is changing relationships.
Yeah.
It's changing the way we communicate with each other. That's what I see with my clients.
Yeah.
A text message in between dates is no longer just a text message in between dates. It's kind of like an in between date, actually.
Absolutely.
We don't pick up the phone and call each other anymore, even for social circumstances to our friends. We're texting them. And so I think that right now there's a lot of eyes on technology as it being a romance killer, it being a relationship killer, no matter what type of relationship that is. And really, it can so be something that benefits your relationship. It's just a matter of how you use it and how you approach it. And I think that in our own relationship, that's something that Thomas and I do really well. Like, we use so much technology to communicate with each other. It's like another level of our dynamic.
Yeah, it's just the idea of embracing technology and using it for your benefit, not how it's supposed to be used or how the general public believes it's supposed to be used. And through our Skype dates here and there, and sending digital cards and tweeting to each other publicly and privately, I think it's just really interesting that instead of seeing technology as a possible impediment to dating and relationships, it can definitely use as a valuable resource in order to keep connections going. I mean, especially for us. I mean, for the first, was it 2 years?
Year and a
About
half.
a year and a half, yeah, like a year and a half. We were long distance.
Yeah.
And so technology was really the bridge that allowed us to not only stay together, but also grow together as well through separate experiences that we were sharing with one another through technology.
Yeah, and I think, now as a married couple, we just got married in May.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
you.
And I think, now even as a married couple, like, we continue to communicate with each other through technology, and we continue to allow this to be part of who we are as a couple and a part of our relationship. It's almost like a third wheel or something, but in a really good way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you talk a little bit in the panel description. There's some talk about the congruence between online and offline. In the tech industry, you hear a lot about like platform-specific content. How you market your brand on Twitter versus on Pinterest. In the app of the dating, or in the age of the dating app like Tinder, do you think that we need to be marketing ourselves depending on whether we're online or in a bar or on an app, or does it need to be consistent?
I personally, since my clients are on more of these platforms,
Yeah.
I personally think that it does vary platform to platform,
Mm-hmm.
because you're seeing different crowds of people in different places, right? Like, you wouldn't necessarily market yourself on Tinder the way you would on eHarmony, because it's a very different type of audience. First of all, the eHarmony profile is much longer. It's much more in depth. It's all supposed to be that someone can really get to know you just by reading your profile. Where on Tinder, it's a small screen, it's a snapshot. But also on Tinder, you have to catch someone's eye before they swipe to the next person, whether it's right or left, and you have to convince them to go right. Whereas on eHarmony, you need to convince people to continue to read and before they convert and hit that email you button also. So the way that people are consuming you is different.
Yeah, and the strategies need to vary from platform to platform, and you can even include online as a platform within itself. At the same time, I also believe that how you market yourself online should translate pretty seamlessly to how you present yourself offline, which is where sometimes a lot of trouble comes into play, especially when it comes to first dates, first meets, general communication, especially if you don't understand the nature of how someone communicates. It can definitely be an impediment towards building a relationship or a connection that way. So it definitely is important when you look at the different platforms that are available out there.
Yeah, you still want to be authentically you, no matter what. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
for sure. So what are you guys' hopes for the panel? What do you really hope the audience takes away?
I hope that people take away from our panel some new ways to use technology to really grow their relationships, not just sustain them. I think that's what a lot of people are doing today. They're just using technology to check in with each other, to sustain their relationship, but not really to grow it. And that's what I hope that people learn.
Yeah. Also, I think ultimately it's just technology can totally be your wingman. And it can be used when you're dating. It can be used while you're in a relationship. It can be even used when you're married. It can even be used later on when you have kids. And it
can be used in business circumstances and social circumstances, not just with love either.
Yeah.
I think that everything we'll teach you at our panel is really going to apply across the board to different types of relationships.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're talking about relationships, and they can be applied in any particular way. And it's just a matter of understanding how to use it and how to use it for your benefit.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate hearing from you. I'm super excited to see you at Interactive, and I wish you guys a lot of luck. And thank you so much for taking the time and sitting down with us.
Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right. Thanks.